down a goal late in regulation. Yzerman wins the draw. Fedorov is on the point, goes to Lidstrom, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. And then Lidstrom gets it just by the first guy in Brett Hall, Hall of Fame, tips it home. So you win that game in regulation, and you were not hanging on for dear life. Right. That's a totally different series, even when you look at the two rosters. You know, that's it's a bunch of Hall of Fame players delivering the goods there in the dying, you know, maybe just a minute left or under a minute left in regulation in Game 3.
Well, I haven't thought about that every day for the last 18 years, but I agree with you, right? It's something that you think about. Well, Brett Hall drag bunts that across his body, right? Nearly impossible to do, back into the net, and then you lose it in triple overtime. That's the reminder. I look at that event as a positive now. So we started here in Winnipeg, and certainly in Carolina, but we started here in Winnipeg with some really, really young teams. We're just starting to come out of that now. But they were way better than we were in terms of depth of personnel. I mean, look, it's one of the best teams that's ever been on the ice together, right? Half their team's in the Hall of Fame, and we were right there. So that's a reminder always that if you play as a group and you play with passion and you compete and you dig in, you got a chance to win the Stanley Cup. So that's what drives us kind of every day. You don't really look at your roster and say, okay, these are all the pieces that we don't have that are going to keep us from winning the Stanley Cup. You look at that roster and say, if we get to the right place, if we get ourselves mentally and physically in the right place, we can play with any team in the league and any team in the history of the league. We don't have to beat them 82 times, right? You only got to beat them 4 times. So you got a chance to win. That's what I'm left with now. That was a heart and soul kind of team. You know, 3 kids, Marty Gellin and 2 kids was your entire third line, but they got fire. And if your hockey team does that, you can win.